Hey everyone, welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. You got myself, Liam, Waz, Lucas. Our co-host Greg is not here, but that is more than okay. Welcome to a midweek special episode where we talk about the Champions League group stages. We're going to review all of those. The match days are just finishing up here in Canada, so we're going to talk about the scorelines, talk about the fixtures, and look ahead to the next round and see who may face who. And it's a draw, but we'll talk.
The draw is on Friday, right?
No,
it's on Monday.
Kind of thing.
Draw's on Monday. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that's different.
If you are new to the 90th minute, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. Follow us along on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all social media. Hit us up. Links are in the description. We greatly appreciate all the support we have been getting recently.
Yeah, thank you to everyone listening on YouTube,
Yes,
podcast
definitely.
apps, everywhere. Thank you very much.
100%.
So I think it's fair to say that the first match day, match day 6, was pretty exciting.
Much better than today's.
No, I mean a bit dramatic.
It was a bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
There's more up for grabs.
More games that could affect the group.
Some
finishes.
teams got unlucky in a sense.
And some teams bottled it.
Yes. I wouldn't say
Can we start with one of the bottlers?
Barcelona, Inter Milan. I wouldn't say Inter necessarily bottled it.
In a sense, they
Yes
kind
and
of
no,
did.
they got kind of unlucky.
At home, against a rotated Barcelona squad.
A
can't get
rotated
victory.
Barcelona squad with Antoine Griezmann up front.
I understand. A rotated Barcelona squad is still better than half the teams in the world. I get that. However, at home, you should still be getting a victory.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or at least much more challenging for a victory. I thought Inter Milan were off the pace yesterday.
Inter.
I don't think they looked flat
Yeah.
necessarily. They were creating good chances. I thought Lautaro Martinez looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Big Lukaku.
Lukaku
scores
had
a goal.
several
Yeah.
chances though.
I think it was unlucky that one goal. I think it was the third goal that got called offside for them.
Yeah.
I saw it go in. I'm like, I don't think it should have been a goal, but
Well, it's because Lukaku was like approaching the ball or something.
my
I think
goodness.
that's.
VAR
I think
things.
I don't know if we're talking about the same one. But
yeah.
yeah, it was as you can see, you could tell Barcelona had nothing to play for, just for pride, I guess. Inter Milan, they needed a win to guarantee. A draw would have worked if Dortmund didn't win, but obviously Dortmund won at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was obviously a lot for grabs in front of the San Siro.
Even Dortmund made it a little nervy in this group. Dortmund were shaky at best, I'd say.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
We'll get into Dortmund after.
No, I'm just kind of
100%, yeah.
surprised that Inter Milan got, they're already out because they were playing well in the Champions League.
This
This
is
is
the
unlucky. It's a
team that's
shame.
top of Serie A right now.
No,
They've been
yeah.
in really good form domestically.
And on paper, their team looked really good. Godin, De Vrij, Skriniar. From the back, it looks really good.
They've spent money this summer. They've brought in Antonio Conte with hopes of doing well in Serie A and in Champions
I think
League.
their midfield needs a little bit more work.
Yeah, because their midfield's had a few injuries, Barella and Sensi.
This is not a complete puzzle yet. There's still some missing pieces here.
Obviously, Lukaku and Martinez have been probably one of the best partnerships in
Yeah.
world football this
the
season.
question now is, now that there's no Champions League come January, are they going to keep a hold of Martinez, you think?
Of
I
course.
think so. Yeah, I think you'll see the end of the season.
Why would you sell your best striker when you only have two?
They're still.
I completely
I
agree.
mean, they're still in a title race.
I completely agree. But
So-
there's a lot of people saying, oh, what if Barcelona come in and whack a whole bunch of cash?
No.
Well, they can't play him in the Champions League.
No, I understand
cup-tied.
that. I understand
So
that.
why not stay with? Why would if I'm Martinez? Why would I leave Inter?
I agree. I wouldn't leave.
If I'm gonna leave, I'm leaving
in
in
the summer.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
At least we got that settled.
Okay.
Anyways,
We have
how did we
figured
get
out
in that-
Martinez's future. Confirmed.
How did we get into this argument in the first place?
Wasn't really an argument.
all I'm saying,
It was a heated discussion.
I found Martinez to be he's turning into one of the most exciting attackers in world football right now.
Yeah, I think he is definitely. I'm not going to compare him to Aguero because there's differences, but he's definitely going to be that. He's definitely going to be a world-class striker in the future.
5
he has
goals
the
in 6
abilities.
games, Champions League, and then if you go to a Serie A record, it's 8 goals in 15. That's very good numbers for a young player.
How old is he?
22.
22. Oh my goodness.
22 Argentinian, yeah.
I mean, he's got good pace to him. He shoots the ball well. He's got strength. He can. He's an
got
all-around good
movement
striker.
up front.
Exactly.
I think
yeah,
his movement up front is probably his biggest strength.
And what people don't always look is what he does off the ball, like the work he does defensively, and also for what the running into spaces that is required from him.
However, if we're talking about young talents, we cannot skip over the man that is Ansu Fati. The man that scores the game winner for Barcelona in the 86th minute.
feel so bad for Inter with how this unfolded because the game is 1-1. You've had 3 goals called offside, and all of a sudden, the 17-year-old gets subbed on, and he scores within 80 seconds to knock you out of the Champions League.
Well, so what were you doing in 2002?
I don't know. I was in kindergarten.
You were just living your life.
Yeah.
Now this man was born in 2002. Now he's scoring Champions League winner goals. The youngest ever Champions League goal scorer.
He looks like a phenomenal talent. I mean, when he's on the pitch, he looks like he's already played 5 years at senior level.
He's done fantastic.
Not his face really. He looks very young.
I know. I'm saying, but it's the way he plays and his movement off the ball and the spaces he creates and like, I'm sorry to say, but this is it weird? Maybe I know nothing. All right,
potentially.
But is it weird to say that this 17-year-old has so far had a bigger impact on Barcelona than Antoine Griezmann? It's hard to argue. Nothing against Antoine. I mean, there's some things I don't like about him. He's a great player.
I think the difference that we're looking at is Antoine Griezmann came with a hefty price tag. So it was okay. He has a hefty price tag and a standard he had to live up to. So we're kind of going, okay, is he living up to that standard?
Yeah.
Well, Ansu Fati comes in and goes, this kid's just
I
nobody.
understand, Ansu Fati and Griezmann play kind of different roles for Barcelona, and they kind of.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes.
I'm going to say no. I don't think Ansu Fati has been doing more than Griezmann. I think Ansu Fati's been a better player as an impact off the bench, and he's won Barcelona some points due to his play.
And now he's the youngest player to ever score in the Champions League. That's insane.
I mean, Griezmann still does a lot of work. Like he's definitely. For a guy that talented like Griezmann, he's one of the hardest working players out there.
Yeah. Griezmann's a very good player, and I watched a little segment on him when he first came to Atletico Madrid from Real Sociedad. Now he wasn't getting the play time under Simeone because he didn't want to work off the ball as much, but Simeone drove it into him time and time again. So you're going to work off the ball, you're going to track back.
Especially at that level, you need to.
Yeah. So then once he started to do that, he saw his career flourish under Simeone. So. Can he then translate that to Barcelona and how they play? Because, I mean, Barcelona does not play the same play style as Atletico Madrid.
Not at all.
So they have to. He has to transition. He has to change. He has to, change his mentality.
I mean, it's about time that something came out of La Masia. Like, when was the last time something crazy came out of there?
That's a good question.
You got to look back to their almost golden generation of players a decade ago almost.
They do have some young guys that played in this match as well, like Carlos Alenya and there's
Perez.
He wasn't bad actually.
And then there's Ricky Puig or Puig. I don't know how you say his name.
Yeah.
Puig.
But those guys haven't had as much of an impact like Ansu Fati has in his short time there. But yeah, it's still really early. Like we've seen players have fantastic starts to their careers at a young age, and then they just never live up to it. Like especially from Barcelona, like Boyan.
Yeah,
Boyan.
Like that guy was expected to be the next Messi.
Remember Deulofeu?
Yep.
I mean, he's kind of done well in his career. I mean, he's now at Watford, but that's a sinking.
There's been a lot of players that have gone to Barcelona. Oh, the next one.
And they somehow end up in the Premier League.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, for like
a Premier League relegation battle.
So.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting how Ansu Fati develops over the next year.
And the thing is, I don't even think Inter Milan played poorly in this game. I thought they played well.
Yeah, I thought, especially in the first half, they were creating several chances. I think Lukaku should have scored more than one goal, honestly.
Yeah, I think he did miss a few chances.
Like, he does have this reputation of being a guy that misses chances against the big teams. Like, he gets the job done against the smaller teams, but when it's against bigger competition, for some reason, his goal record isn't as good.
If we look at his record in the Champions League, Lukaku, he's got a 57% shot accuracy. Not great.
What does that even mean?
The amount of shots he takes, only 57% of them end up on target.
I mean, it depends what the context is. Some of those could be just tough angle shots that he has no support, so he's forced to take a shot which goes wide.
Yeah.
So Barcelona,
he has had a good season. I mean, 10 goals in Serie A and then 2 in Champions League.
Yeah, of course.
It's not terrible.
He's definitely been having a good season. I know.
Yeah.
He was getting some stick yesterday from people on Twitter saying he had a bad game, even though I watched the game later and I'm like, he didn't have a bad game. He could have scored some chances, but
I think for Inter Milan, midfield was where it was kind of let down for them. They lost control in the middle. Now that is due to injuries, like you said, or just not a final puzzle yet. There's still pieces.
Inter Milan fans are gonna look at this and just gonna say UEFA Lona because of all these offsides. But I think you guys want to move on.
Well, we talked that is Group F. Let's finish off Group F with Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund win 2-1 at home over Slavia Praha. Like I said, they made it very interesting. It was 1-1 for majority of the game until Julian Brandt made it 2-1 in the 61st minute.
20 minutes.
I mean, that's a good, solid piece of time against Slavia Praha. No offense to them.
Slavia Praha has been probably the best team to finish 4th place in Champions League history.
Fair enough.
They played well.
They're in a group of death, and they're giving it a good shot. So we give them lots of credit, 100%. But if you're Dortmund on a knockout day at home, you don't want it to be 1-1.
No.
You want to be comfortable 3-0 up kind of thing.
Yeah, Dortmund's been interesting club. I know in the last podcast we mentioned they did win 5-0 against Dusseldorf, but usually against clubs that are severe underdogs to them, for some reason they just struggle.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a mentality thing, or if the coach is just maybe the coach isn't just getting them ready for this.
They did get a man sent off in the 77th minute, Julian Weigl.
Yeah.
And again, Borussia Dortmund made all 3 substitutions in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I know you said it's a time waste. I get that. But don't you think you'd make a substitution after you get a red card?
Sometimes.
I think I would make a substitution. You're on the 70th minute after a red card.
I mean, the red card was in the 77th.
Yeah,
minute.
but you change it up. You get some new fresh blood in there. Not just, hey, 83rd, 82nd. The game's kind of... This is pointless substitutions in my opinion. I guess it's a waste of time. I get that, but
mind games.
I'm trying to keep the victory, not just hold on to it. Does that make sense?
A little. But one thing we got to shout out Roman Bürki. He had an incredible match. I think he made 7 saves for Dortmund.
Yes,
and he was given a standing ovation after the match by their fans.
He has had a good season actually.
Yeah, he's definitely the past few seasons definitely has been one of the best keepers in the Bundesliga. I know he started his career with Dortmund pretty poorly.
It was a little rocky, yeah.
But he's kept on, proved year after year, and right now you could argue he's the best goalkeeper in the Bundesliga. I don't know.
Potentially, yeah.
So Dortmund played the back 3 this game with Akanji, Hummels, and Zagadou. What do you think about that?
It depends on the options, really.
I don't mind.
It's not terrible.
I don't mind all 3 of them.
It's not the most experience aside from Hummels.
Well, that's why they brought in Hummels to anchor their midfield and anchor their defense and bring up these young defenders.
Yeah, we weren't able to watch this match because we were watching other matches, so we don't know how this backline exactly worked or how well it went, but basing it off
on paper kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they did put Hakimi at right mid, who I think has been playing there mostly during the Champions League.
The what?
Hakimi is playing right mid.
More like a right wing back kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that would have to be the same with Gorup. It's just interesting how Dortmund play their team.
Well, it's a back 3, so that means on defense it goes into a back 5. Then on the attack, Hakimi and Guerrero push up forward.
Yeah. What I know from Dortmund, I think they switched to this formation against Hertha Berlin after they lost a match previous. I don't remember what the match was, but I think Favre's job was under pressure, so he had to switch something up. So I think he's going with this back 3, and so far it's been working. They've been winning. They've won against Hertha Berlin, even though they had a red card in that match and had to switch things up.
I don't mind this backline. I think it's got potential. If the 3 of them can get more chemistry and get more game time, I think it has potential to be very solid.
And then you have some faster guys around Mats Hummels.
Yeah,
so.
I like Zagadou. He's made some mistakes over his couple of seasons. I get him that, but I think he's a good defender.
Yeah, well, it's
Same with
interesting.
Akanji. Akanji's not too bad.
But congrats to Dortmund for advancing through the Champions League group.
Yeah, Group F, just to give a quick recap, it ends Barcelona on 14, Borussia Dortmund second place on 10, Inter on 7, and Slavia on 2. So
I think Slavia deserved more than 2 points on this.
Inter Milan with 10 goals and 9 against.
Yeah.
That is not pretty.
That's not Italian defending right there.
No, not really.
Let's move on to another upset. Inter Milan are out, and so are Ajax.
Unfortunately,
the dream. The young dream that was last season is out of here already.
The fairy tale story of last season is now heading to Europa League, which will be a good competition for them.
They made it to the Europa League final 2 seasons ago against Manchester United.
A very Ajax squad.
3 or was
it was Mourinho's first season.
Yeah.
Okay, Mourinho's first season. But they made it to the final of the Europa League. Could they potentially make it to the final again?
I mean,
I think they can. Depends who they
They
come
have
up
to play
against.
better than they have in this group so far.
Oh, there's no doubt
I
about
thought they
that.
played well in this group, except for this
No, I
match.
thought they did play well. No
I
doubt.
think
This match, though, I thought they were terrible.
Everything that could go wrong for Ajax went wrong.
Ajax were not great this game. They really were not. They seemed like a team that was very mentally
Not as
into
composed.
it. Yeah, not composed. They played right into Valencia's hands. Valencia scored
Mm-hmm.
an early goal through Rodrigo Moreno, 24th minute. And after that game, after that goal, Valencia were more than happy to sit in, time waste, and just grind out that victory.
Like, whenever Ajax got forward and into these attacking positions, they just slowed it down, and that just let Valencia bring
Yeah.
back all these players
Now,
back.
Ajax were missing some big names.
Yeah.
Neres was probably the biggest
True.
one.
And Promes.
And Quincy
Promise,
Promise, yeah. Those are two huge names, especially in their attack. However, they still have people there who can score a goal.
is pretty
Hakim
influential.
Ziyech,
Van de Beek.
Van de Beek.
Tadic.
They brought on the big old man, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar.
I'm surprised he still plays.
Love to see
They
that.
brought on a guy named De Jong, who
Yeah,
How many
Sim
De Jongs are there?
Used to be at Newcastle, Sim De Jong.
I remember him.
I think he also played for like Sydney or whatever.
Yeah, he's been around. He's old.
But I mean, credit to Valencia that they didn't field a bad team at all. Rodrigo, Gamero.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got some good options.
Yeah.
They have an okay team here still.
Parejo, Francis Coquelin.
Yes.
I thought Diakabi was incredible this match.
He had a great game, and honestly, they brought on Mangala later on. He was brilliant for 5 minutes. He won 2 or 3 crucial headers.
Daniel Vaz playing with like left back.
Right back.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a very versatile player.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to see.
Also,
different.
also Ferran Torres, he was really good as well.
Yeah.
But
I
Gabriel,
thought Diakabi was like you said, he
Diakabi
really
was
good.
just nothing was getting past
Yeah.
him. You could try to play against him for 500 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing would get past him.
Their captain. Who was their captain? Was it Parejo?
Probably.
I think it's Danny Parejo. Brilliant time waster. Every time he got coughed on, he'd roll around the ground for 10 minutes, and the referee bought it every time. Every time he got free kick, I was like, "Ref, stop this!"
What were your
please."
thoughts about the referee?
He lost the game. He lost the game probably within the last half an hour of it. He lost it. Like there was yellow cards flying, there was tackles flying, there was unsportsman diving and that stuff like that, and yeah, he lost it.
And for Valencia to keep a clean sheet after taking a red card, that's pretty
Well, the red
impressive.
card was late in the match.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think-
90th minutes. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel just lost his
It
head
was
for
just a
some
very
reason.
chaotic match.
Ex-Arsenal Gabriel Paulista.
Like even
he
Ajax,
headbutts a man.
Ajax's manager was losing his mind on the touchline. Like this is just
I
heartbreaking.
wanted to talk about Eric Ten Hag.
Can I mention something before we get
you
into
can.
that?
Yes, you can.
So, like we mentioned, Valencia played very well, especially a great defensive
Yeah.
shape. But Ziyech, I read a stat.
Mm-hmm.
He lost the ball 40 times.
That's not good, especially
Should've
for one of your
subbed him off.
talisman. For one of your better players, that's really not good.
Just didn't have a good game.
Like, he's a very talented player, but
Yeah.
he has games like these, and
But you can't be at the top of the
So
the
since you're
biggest
saying-
teams
you're saying
and being inconsistent.
He's got inconsistencies, really.
yeah, like there's another game I read another stat for in the Eredivisie. He lost the ball 47 times in one match. I don't know if that was last
not
season or
good.
this season, but
I know he is a player that runs at defenders, challenges, tries to dribble past, but that's not good enough.
yeah. But obviously, Ajax missed guys like Promes and Neres, like we mentioned,
Yeah.
because
100%,
they
yeah.
offer something different that they didn't have in this match, and they were forced to go more direct with Huntelaar later
I
on.
think the saddest part at the end is when Frankie de Jong found out that Ajax had been kicked out. So when his team's celebrating, Barcelona, like Frankie de Jong figured it out, and he's on the pitch, kind of like just like
I did not
Sad.
see that. I did not see that.
Well,
so-
he left.
I know, but he's still his
Frankie,
heart,
you
he still
did
has-
this. You did this,
He
Frankie.
still has emotions for Ajax. It's like
Yeah,
that
I mean,
poor guy.
You grow up in the youth academy. You
Like,
have
everybody
connections.
on
He didn't play in their youth academy that much.
Everybody on
So
Barcelona
they're
is
young.
celebrating. They're happy. They're going through, and then there's Frankie de Jong just standing there, sad because he learned that Ajax is out, and it's like
Yeah, but Eric Ten Hag, Ajax
Yeah.
manager. Does this spell the end of his run?
I
in
know-
Amsterdam?
I wouldn't say so. No.
I know he mentioned that he was going to stay till the end of the season.
Okay.
I do wonder if this changes things
I
or
think
anything. Like, it is. I would hope he stays till the end of the season and tries to go as far as they can in their Europa League with this team, because I think they do have a legit shot of winning it if they have their players healthy.
They are right now one of the best teams going down in the Europa League, no doubt.
Yeah,
they are a very good team still. I mean, yes, they have lost some huge players, but they still have a very solid core.
Yeah,
and they did pretty well without them in the champ. Like who did they beat again? Chelsea.
Well,
that Chelsea was it 3-3, was it not?
Yeah, they put up some good fights.
I mean, they tied Chelsea and lost to them. They beat Valencia once. They beat Lyon twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that match where they got those 2 red cards, that probably costed them.
In retrospective, it wasn't the finest of outings, but they still performed well.
I don't think this was a perfect group by Ajax in their sense, but it was a very tough group because Valencia and Chelsea are not bad teams.
You know what actually costed Ajax in this?
What was it?
Ross Barkley missing his penalty in the first match against Valencia.
You're not wrong.
Valencia defeated Chelsea on the first match.
You're not wrong. And Ross Barkley, did he on Sky it?
He missed the net, I think.
Yeah, I think he hit over the bar. Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Ross Barkley, you're the reason why Ajax...
Ross Barkley, don't show your face in Amsterdam.
But no, really, Ajax were just not good enough in this match.
And fair enough, sometimes even the best teams in the competition don't do well in the group stage and get knocked out. This happens all the time.
Yeah. Could we see this Ajax team being a little bit torn apart yet again?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, people like Ziyech, people leaving, like these key players.
I mean, Tagliafico,
Ziyech. You can even look further back. Van de Beek. Onana even.
Well, I think guys like Van de Beek and maybe Tagliafico. I think next summer there'll be a time where they could leave. Ziyech, he could have left several. Like last season, the summer before,
he's just comfortable there at Ajax.
And he enjoys the play style there.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But could players leave? Could Champions League not happen? Could we see 5 seasons of a step down, and all of a sudden Ajax are nowhere near what they were 5 years prior?
It very well could happen, and if a change of manager, that can potentially make it worse and make the transition a lot more uglier.
You hope Ajax can continue the way they were and find young players, find the next De Jong, the next De Ligt, keep that going, which they always seem to do. They always seem to produce brilliant young talent.
Yeah, like they played 2 players in this match from their academy, Mazraoui and Noah Lang.
Mazraoui was okay. Noah Lang, wasn't very happy with him.
I mean, he's like how old? 18?
He's 20.
20, okay.
But the thing is, he had an okay game, but when he subbed him off, he was pissed off coming off the field. I was like, get off the field, man. Get off. You didn't have a great game.
Anyways.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Ajax,
Ajax
but
are out.
Valencia certainly deserved it. Congratulations to you guys. And
so a 1-0 victory there for Valencia. Other match in Group H was Chelsea versus Lille. It ends 2-1 for the Blues. Tammy Abraham and Cesar Azpilicueta. So they score goals. But yes, it ends Group H with Valencia on top, actually, 11 points. Chelsea, they are second place with 11 points. Ajax, third, 1 point off, 10 points. And Lille did not have a good Champions League.
Kind of surprised to see that Valencia topped the group, but good for them.
Oh, yeah, they've defeated Chelsea.
Yeah.
So,
it'll be interesting who to see who they get
Chelsea
paired up with.
Chelsea will get a first seed team.
Yeah, the easiest team they can get, I think, is RB Leipzig.
Yeah. Did you see the stat about Frank Lampard? He is the first English manager to make it through a Champions League group stage since his uncle.
Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
Jesus.
Shocking.
I didn't know that he was there. He was.
Yeah.
I knew he was the last one, but.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's why he got to start at West Ham, because his uncle was coach. But let's go on to Group E. Reigning champions Liverpool, they got a huge win on the road at Salzburg, 2-0.
Very. Lucas, would you say it was a dominant performance?
This is a good game. I love this
thought in
game.
the second half, you guys looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I think second half, I agree with that, But first half, I think it was very back and forth. Lots of chances for both sides.
I think people need to give Salzburg a hell of a lot of credit here.
Oh, no, definitely.
This is a great team.
I mean, 2 years ago, they were in the Europa League semifinal.
This is a good team. They have great players front to back.
Yeah.
They're quick. Their passing's good. Like, my dad was saying, this is like a mini Liverpool, the way they play. Like, just hell-bent attack, go nuts kind of thing.
Maybe Liverpool...
A couple seasons ago, yeah.
Liverpool definitely changed.
Heavy metal football.
Yeah. But one player, is it Minamino or something? I think he was fantastic for
Minamino's been
Salzburg.
very good for them this year.
But yeah, they definitely have a very young team, so obviously it's kind of hard to.
It's just gonna be the question of, is this Haland's last season, or is this his last?
This is his last couple of months almost. People are saying he could go in January.
It could have.
Because they're going to the Europa League, so they're still in the competition. So why get rid of someone?
8 goals in 6 games in the Champions League, and then you go to the Austrian League. He's got 16 goals in 14 games.
This is quite
Had a
talent
brilliant
right here.
season.
Yeah.
Like
19-year-old Norwegian.
I think I'd love to see him in the Europa League with Salzburg and see how that would go. I think it could go very well for them, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he takes a small step up to.
Supposedly Manchester United are leading the race for him right now.
That's bullcrap.
Do you want him, Woz?
I would like him very much so. I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't doubt it, because apparently he played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yes, he
at some
did.
point.
He
so
did.
there's that connection
Plus
there.
his dad he played in England for a long time.
So for whatever
Yeah, played for Manchester City.
Yep.
Lucas, why don't you want Haland to go to United?
I think it's more likely he's going to go to Leipzig.
I understand that, but why not United? Do you not want to see a top
hold
talent in United?
on. I'm going to say a controversial thing here. Is Leipzig a big enough step up for him?
He doesn't need to go to a super club at 19 years of age. He can play a few more seasons at Leipzig.
Can Leipzig offer him the 200,000 that 200,000 a week that United can?
Does he necessarily?
No, I think Haland wants to go to United to get revenge on Liverpool. Because he didn't look happy when they got conceded. When
Did you see what happened?
He took the water ball and he just threw it.
Salah scored the wonder goal. We'll talk a bit more about that. But he goes to the bench, give me a water ball. He grabs it, throws it on the ground. That's all he wanted
I love
for.
that passion. I want that at United because he'll score a hat trick against.
To me, he seems like a perfect United center forward.
Exactly.
I know this guy has said some weird stuff in the past.
Who, me?
No, Haland.
I was gonna say I said a few things.
I want to hear what he says.
Well, no, he says his match balls are his girlfriends.
Yeah. He says he goes to bed every night with
I
all
love
his
it.
match
I
balls.
love it.
He wakes up with the Champions League anthem.
And he is very charismatic, but I don't think he's a psychopath where he joined Manchester United just to get revenge at Liverpool.
I love it though.
To me, he just seems like Van Nistelrooy.
Exactly.
He seems that kind of goal scorer.
I don't know,
a little bit crazy, but man,
and
he can find
United
back
kind
in
of
the net.
needs some more depth up front.
I don't think United's the right club for him.
Piss off.
I think a club like Leipzig, where they create lots of chances for
They're not big
players.
enough.
How are they not big enough? They're in the Champions League.
That's good. They're not United.
Well, with Dortmund.
United are not United of 10 years ago. I get you that, but United are still United.
You want to be playing at a club where you can continue to develop. Leipzig are
United are on a revolution right now of young
stop being
talent.
prisoner of the moment.
Tahith Chong's going to win the Ballon d'Or one year.
Okay, relax.
That man's a legend.
I mean,
Look,
He's been very bad this season.
I'm a Liverpool fan, so obviously I wouldn't want him to go to United. But looking at this,
I think-
without a bias, I don't
you
think
say
that's
he
his
goes
best
to Leipzig,
option.
from Red Bull to Red Bull.
I think
And
that's
then ultimately ends up at Bayern Munich. That's how Germany works.
ideally, I would prefer if United signed a more experienced striker, but Haland would be nice.
like you have Rashford and Martial.
I
Like,
know,
Do you
but-
want? Do you not
Put those three up front.
I
And
was
you're
going to say, do you think Rashford or Martial are 100% center forwards? I don't think either of them are strikers.
But then you have Reece James, not Reece James.
you
Daniel
keep
James.
saying Reece James.
Daniel James, Mason Greenwood. But,
Okay, but it's okay to have some depth off the bench.
but
If
he's not
United-
really a depth
No,
player.
but what I'm saying is, if Haland starts at United, you can bring Daniel James off the bench, which is what, in my mind, he should be.
But he's been
He's
proven
not
he
a-
can start for
He's
the
got to
club.
prove and he can.
He hasn't had a
really
great
well.
second half of the first half of the year.
We're still in the first half of the year.
He hasn't had a good second half of the first half
That's
of the
just
year.
stupid. That's just dumb.
The first half of the first half of the year, he was brilliant, scoring goals like crazy.
Yes,
he hasn't scored
he's
in how
still
many
playing
games?
pretty well.
He's playing
still
very
creating
well.
great
But would you not
chances.
like him to come off the bench as a super sub?
Not necessarily. I like him starting. I think he fits well with Rashford and Martial.
Fair enough, but
I-
you need depth off the bench, not Mason Greenwood.
Yes.
How I see it, if you bring in Holland, Greenwood won't have a future at the club.
Well, we don't know that right now. Okay.
Do you see Greenwood better as a striker or a winger?
Striker, but
Then-
right now, let's just live
Because
in the,
you are also playing Rashford as a striker. Sometimes you're playing Martial
Look,
as a
I
striker.
just want us to sign some forwards. I just want to. I want
Yes, you
depth.
can. I just don't think Holland going to United is the right step unless if you.
it is a good option.
70
Anyways,
million, put it on the table.
What
There
do you
go,
guys
Haaland.
think? Who should United go after for depth signing, or should they go for Holland or someone else?
But
Let us
then
know.
again, it's United. They'll piss around, and not sign anyone. Or they'll sign Shane Long, for fuck's sake. Like
Danny Ings, he's in good form.
But let's focus on Liverpool because
Yes.
they're the team that
let's
qualified.
actually talk about the game that happened.
So what I saw from Liverpool is that they made
Brilliant.
Leipzig
Goals.
look like schoolboys.
No, they didn't.
In the
Second half, I'm talking.
First half, Leipzig created a lot of chances because
Yeah.
Liverpool had a
No,
high.
I heard
Salzburg. You said Leipzig.
Sorry.
Salzburg were giving Liverpool some trouble, so
Yes.
there's no doubt about that.
But I thought Naby Keita once again, second match in a row. Great
He's been playing
performance.
really well for you guys.
Yes, it's great to see. Hopefully this continues more matches consistently and he becomes a player that we expected it.
Would you want him to play in more games in the Club World Cup coming up?
Sorry?
Would you want him to play in the Club World Cup?
The Club World
It's
Cup
coming
is just
up for
going to
you
be your
guys.
under 18s, guys.
No,
Like,
that's against Aston Villa.
who cares?
Because our youth teams are playing against Aston Villa while we're in Qatar.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're playing that game the day before we're in Qatar.
What I'm saying, why would you not play your good team against Villa?
Because Klopp doesn't give a crap about the Carabao Cup. He tried to get
Fair
eliminated
enough,
against
fair
Arsenal,
enough.
and Arsenal were so bad they lost.
Even when you try to lose, you still beat Arsenal.
The state of Arsenal.
But
I'm so sad about Arsenal, actually. Kieran Tierney's out for 3 months.
Let's talk about Liverpool.
I know, Kieran Tierney destroyed his shoulder.
Continue. I thought your front three looked phenomenal towards the end of the game.
I mean, Mo Salah with arguably the goal of the group stages.
Honestly, he could have probably
The man was at the corner flag.
he could have had probably 5 goals this game.
honestly,
He missed some of the easiest chances I've ever seen him miss this year or in his career almost. But then he goes and scores an absolute world.
I think it was like within the last 10 minutes, like your front three just were having fun with Salzburg's defense.
yes, they couldn't really handle it, honestly.
So
Yeah.
your midfield was Keita, Henderson, Wijnaldum. Now you agree that Keita needs to play more.
Yes.
You also agree that Oxlade-Chamberlain needs to play more.
Yes.
So could you say that your midfield three in your mind would be Fabinho, Keita, Chamberlain?
Potentially,
But what happens to Captain Hendo?
I mean, you got off the bench, man. James Milner role.
But he's Captain Hendo.
Turn into Captain Van Dijk.
The man. I
That'd
agree.
be such a good captain.
He was our captain.
He'd be like Vidic.
He was our assistant captain. When Scott Brown was too bored, couldn't play, give it to Van Dijk.
I respect Henderson a great deal,
Yeah.
especially how he's proven a lot of people wrong over the past year. I just think I think there's more talented
Because
players
the
than
thing
him.
is, it's not like you can put 4 in the midfield.
No.
Because you can't drop one in the front 3.
But also, Henderson, there's some matches where playing Henderson makes sense.
I've seen Henderson this season as such a fantastic ball-playing midfield. Lucas, his passing's been outstanding. Over the top balls have been brilliant.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, yeah, he did get an assist on Saturday with
The one with
that.
Chamberlain's goal.
But I
It was
wouldn't say that's his.
fantastic.
I don't think that's been his best thing. And also, there's been many matches this season where he's been subbed off early because he wasn't able to provide enough of an impact for the team to score a goal.
I think Liverpool are more than blessed to have 5-6 fantastic midfielders right now. It's a great problem to have if you're Jurgen Klopp, especially in
Yeah.
this busy period of the year.
But yeah, like I said, Henderson, there's certain matches where him being
Yeah.
played is crucial, and you probably would play him instead of an Oxlade-Chamberlain or a Keita. But in my opinion, I think Keita when he
Yeah.
gets rolling, he's going to be undroppable, like
Yeah.
Fabinho, in my opinion.
I mean, he's scoring goals. He's working hard off the ball. Defensively, he's done very well.
Creating lots of chances.
Yeah, he's had a
breaking the lines.
very good run of games recently. But yes, Liverpool win 2-0 on the road at Salzburg. In this group, there's also a 4-0 victory for Napoli.
Munich with a hat trick.
Beautiful.
Now.
First half hat trick as well.
Now,
Yeah.
Napoli. This is a tire fire.
It's a tire fire off and on the pitch
The
at
group
times.
the group ends with Liverpool on top 13 points, Napoli second 12 points,
But
Salzburg third 7 and Genk on 1.
Napoli win 4-0. They go into the next round of the Champions League, but they still sack Ancelotti.
Yes, Carlo Ancelotti has been sacked 3 hours after the game. Now, there's no getting around it. They're 7th in Serie A.
Yeah.
That's why he gets sacked. There's issues going on in the dressing room, off the field.
And like if you saw in our last podcast when we were talking about Syria, we reacted to a clip where Napoli, Mario Rui was trying to go on a counterattack, and all the players were just jogging or walking up the pitch.
A quick break counterattack, and none of the team wants to break forward. They're all just whatever kind of thing. They've given up on this club almost in a sense. Now, we've been slated on TikTok because we are clueless, because we said if the players don't want to play there, get them out of the team.
We have?
Well, that's what we said.
People were kind of. That's what I said.
People said that. I wasn't there, but you guys said, "Oh, if they don't want to play, get them out." People said, "Oh, we're clueless." Why would you want players playing if they don't want to play for you? If they don't have the heart,
I was kind
the
of curious.
passion.
Like you Mario Rui, who's trying to create a counterattack and press. And no one's really moving. Like they're just jogging.
If you have heart, you have passion.
If that happened to your club, what would you think?
You want players who are pushing.
If you want to win, you need that drive. I'm not seeing that drive in Napoli. There's just something going on upstairs. Like apparently the president is having so much control over the team.
I said that like two weeks ago that the president was a whack job.
I think it's a mixture of.
He basically said to players, if you talk to the media, you're out of the team.
No.
That's basically what.
You get fined.
You get fined. You're out of the team. You're in trouble.
That's like communism right there.
Yes.
Well, because they were on a retreat, and on a retreat they technically weren't allowed to speak to the media.
Why are they going on retreats?
Because they were playing bad.
Is this the 4th grade?
No, it's like there's an Italian tradition.
Claudio Ranieri, get them some pizza, have a good time.
Okay, let him speak.
It's like a lot of Italian teams, when they start going on poor form, they go on a retreats to just character build, get together, and really try to find some unity so they start performing well on the pitch.
I hate to break it to you, that's just Italians in general. Something's not going well, have some lunch. Okay, let's figure it out. Have some lunch, have some coffee. Okay, now we're better. That's just Italians.
I'm gonna go move to
Italy. So it you could say it's De Laurentiis, his fault, the owner.
And to be fair, it's kind of not hard to smash Genk 4-0. It's not the toughest competition.
Genk have been poor this season.
I think Genk's keeper was 17.
Have either of you seen who Napoli appointed today as manager?
Gattuso.
Yes.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sometimes a little shit, sometimes sometimes great, sometimes a little shit.
I think this is a terrible appointment.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how to
this
feel about it.
This is a man who has not the greatest coaching record.
Look,
he's
also got a bit of a temper.
I just don't think. I mean, here's what I think he'll do well. I think Gattuso will do well in terms of lighting that fire again. Yeah. Hey, wake up. Let's go play some fucking football. What I don't think he's going to do well with is consistency, a long run, getting the team back into good form over the rest of the season.
No, this is a low risk contract. He's there 18 months, but that it's initially 6 months with an option to extend if he does well.
Yeah, I have no comment on this.
I think
you have no comment at all.
No, I have nothing to say.
I mean, look, in my opinion.
But look at the names that are out there available. Are you telling me Gattuso's better than Kovac? Niko Kovac could have gone to Napoli.
Look, I think.
Is Niko Kovac Italian?
I don't care.
There's the logistics that go into this.
I agree, but I'm just saying there's better coaches out there. They were talking about the Lazio man, Inzaghi.
He's not going to leave Lazio.
I agree, but they were like, oh, he could go to Napoli. It's like, why? He's up to 3rd right now.
Like, how?
Like I said, I have no comments on this.
How I see it right now, Napoli need a short-term fix for this season.
Yep.
Gattuso is the type of manager that could have the impact that could light a fire up these players' asses, and they could be motivated for the rest of the season and potentially get a Champions League spot, despite how unlikely that is right now.
I do hope Napoli do well. I hope Gattuso does well, because I don't mind them as a team. I like their players. I don't mind Gattuso. He had an okay run at AC Milan. I liked him as a player. But I just don't think this is the right man for this job. At this crucial moment right now for
AC Milan missed the Champions League by 1 or 2 points last season with Gattuso.
They're bottling it.
He left. Look at Milan now.
Crap.
Doing worse than Napoli.
I hope Gattuso is able to do something. I just don't know if he will be.
Look, but how I see it is he's going to be there for at least this season. Then they're probably not going to make the Champions League. They're going to depart, mutually, and then they'll find a new manager, start a new project, have some transition. Some players leave, some players join.
Do you think he gets his team torn up in January? Because Koulibaly is probably out.
No, I say Koulibaly will stay for the rest of the season at least.
Be honest.
I
gotta be honest. I see Koulibaly saying, you know what? Give me my 100 million 100 million pound transfer. Let's get out of here.
Well, I say that you don't know Koulibaly.
I don't know Koulibaly. You're correct, but there's a team called Chelsea who just got out of a transfer ban who need a center back and say, "Hello, Koulibaly. Welcome to Stamford Bridge."
If you read the comments to the TikTok video about,
I don't care about TikTok comments. They're all pish. I gotta be honest.
No, they're not.
We support you, TikTokers.
But apparently, we don't know what we're talking about Chelsea
because Antonio Rudiger is a world-class center back.
Anyways, are we talking about Champions League here? Or are we talking about Napoli?
Talk about a bit of this, a bit of that, okay?
Napoli's in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Mister, I don't want to comment. You're here to give a comment. You don't want to comment. Get the hell out of here.
They are now heading to the round of 16. Salzburg are heading to Europa League. They'll be tough competition.
They're definitely within a shout of, hey, we can potentially win this tournament. Let's go on, though, to Group G very quickly, because this was a meh. Lyon, Leipzig. I enjoyed this game.
The Europa League group.
Kind of.
Except RB Leipzig has been playing very good in the Bundesliga.
Yes.
So they started off very well in this game with a 2-0 lead after half an hour. Emil Forsberg and Timo Werner scoring goals. Hussein Aroure. I don't particularly know. He scored a goal in the 50th minute, and Memphis Depay rescues a point for Lyon.
Yeah, he's been playing
82nd minute, which is enough to put them through. Big scenes in Lyon.
Zenit in tears.
So right now it's Leipzig who topped the group, Lyon second, Benfica third, Zenit fourth.
Yes.
Don't think anyone really expected anything.
1 point separated it. Lyon on 8, and Benfica and Zenit were both tied on 7.
Benfica with that victory over Zenit.
Benfica with a 3-0 victory at home.
Could they be a Europa League contender? Who knows?
Lyon? Or no, Benfica?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Benfica will, no.
They're not terrible. I don't think they're a full team. I mean, they have Adel Tarat playing for them. I actually watched him play live. It was shocking.
What, talented but not very not much
yeah,
effort?
Yeah. Brilliant player. I watched him play for PSG in the Champions Cup.
He didn't play for PSG.
No, who was it? It was Hatem Ben Arfa. Sorry, another player with excellent talent and terrible work ethic. He was an odd player, but yes.
So let's move on to today's matches.
Yes.
Not a lot of matches today were really...
No, there was no real drama. The matches have concluded at the point of this podcast.
Can we talk about... can we go to Germany first?
Yeah, sure.
Bayern Munich. 3-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. Now, it wasn't a 7-2 victory. Crushing.
Still 3-1.
3-1. Decent win for the German champions. Kingsley Coman scores a goal in the 14th minute.
He did get injured, unfortunately. Very bad knee injury.
It doesn't.
It was so
good.
Unfortunate because he kind of tripped over the grass.
He got his foot stuck in the ground. Then he kicked the back of his own leg and went flying head over heels.
He just landed poorly on his knee.
And you could tell from his reaction, as soon as he went down, he's like, yeah, I'm done kind of thing. Like, his knee was not good.
Let's hope for the best for Kingsley.
He's had a lot of knee injuries over the years.
He's had a lot of ankle injuries too.
Yeah. Ryan Sessegnon does score his first ever Tottenham Hotspur goal.
Very well taken, by the way.
Greg is very happy.
Yes, our co-host Greg, huge Fulham fan. Of course, Sessegnon came from Fulham. He was a big fan of him.
It was one of those goals where, it was at a tight angle.
Near post, yeah.
Body language is good when he's taking. He was just underneath. Great strike for,
Thomas Muller was one that came on, though, for Kingsley Coman. He makes it 2-1 in the 45th minute right before halftime.
It was classic Thomas Muller.
It was classic.
Basically, he's just rebounding a goal off the post.
Scramble in the box.
Perfect.
Muller's just there.
I think Thomas Muller is the king of positioning. He just seems to be in the right places at the right time. Like, I scored, guys.
He's a good goal scorer. He pops with good numbers every year.
He's the Ramdeuter, space investigator.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly.
Space investigator.
That's different. I like that.
Philip Coutinho makes it 3-1, though. And then, Tottenham Hotspur, they did have not a rotated side. Terrible, but I mean, you look at Lo Celso getting a start, Sessegnon getting a start. Lucas Moura was starting striker for them, which was interesting to see.
Is there anything you can take away from these two teams, or is this just a match that didn't matter much and they rotated their sides?
I think Jose Mourinho is trying to find his perfect 11 at Tottenham. He's trying to find who deserves to be there. I mean, Eric Dyer has been in and out of the starting 11. Moura up front, interesting selection. I mean, I don't hate it.
I mean, there's some players you don't have to play.
I would have liked to have seen Troy Parrott get the start up front.
Is he a striker?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't mind him. I don't mind Troy Parrott. But, I mean, he is 17 years old. But he's not bad.
From Dublin.
Yeah, he's a good old Irish lad. But, Spurs are trying to find their 11. Bayern Munich, they're just doing their thing. I mean, Boateng started. Lewandowski was rested. Alphonso Davies, starting left back, had a fantastic first half. I didn't get to see the second half, but first half he was brilliant, I thought. Serge Gnabry hit the post, I think, 2 or 3 times in the first half.
It could have been one of those games again. It could have been a Bayern dominance over Spurs, like we've seen before. You know, Bayern Munich being the alpha.
Did you
Spurs
see
being
who was
the
on the
beta.
Bayern Munich bench? Satpreet Singh, the New Zealand international.
Jesus.
He's a great
And
talent on FIFA. Hit him up.
Bayern Munich have finished 6-0, 24 goals for, and 5 against.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And then on the other end, Red Star Belgrade, 3 goals for, 20 against.
Yep.
I had a little bit of hope for them.
Yes, you
Clearly, they did not.
Well, the other
Yeah.
game in the group ends Olympiacos 1-0 over Red Star.
Olympiacos head to Europa League, who I
Yes.
don't know how they'll do.
It ends Bayern Munich on top spot, 18 points. Tottenham on 10. Olympiacos 4. Red Star 3. So the group wasn't as competitive. There was 2 clear favorites.
I
in this
expected
group,
a little
and they
bit more
both
out of
went through.
Olympiacos. I think they could have got a result out of Spurs. Which
I mean, Olympiacos' biggest problem is
They did get a draw against
when you have Ruben
I think they got a
Semedo.
draw against Spurs.
When you start Ruben Semedo at center back, you're not going to do anything.
You're not a big fan of him.
I really don't like him.
Okay. What's next?
Group A,
Group A? Okay.
because
I would have gone to Lucas's favorite team, but okay.
Okay. Let's just go through this one because not much really was up for grabs in this one.
there's something very funny about this group, and
What
also
happened?
kind of sad.
What happened?
Galatasaray, they finished bottom of the group with 2 points. They only scored 1 goal in the
Yes.
whole Champions League campaign.
Jeez.
14 against.
Yes.
It's just, I'm sorry, it's just sad.
I mean,
While PSG topped the group with 17 goals for and 2 against.
if you look at Galatasaray's squad, they're definitely not the team they were when Drogba was playing for them and Schneider. I mean, Falcao comes off the bench. The man is how old? Like,
I mean, they have a lot of Premier League and Serie A rejects on this team.
yeah, pretty much. Like, is that John Michael Sarri? The guy was at Fulham?
Jean-Michel
John
Sarri.
Michel Sarri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mario Lemina.
5-0 victory for PSG.
Yep.
Steven
fair play.
Zonzi at center back. You love to see it.
I mean, we obviously didn't watch this match because
Real Madrid, they finished second in the group.
3-1 victory over
Club Brugge and Galatasaray just got shredded.
I mean, Bruges had okay games. They had a good result.
They had 3 draws.
At Real Madrid.
3 draws.
So yeah, that group ends seeing PSG first spot, 16 points. Real Madrid second, 11 points. Bruges on 3, Galatasaray on 2. If you are a top place seed team, do you really want to go up against Real Madrid right now?
There's a lot of things that could go.
I mean,
I think I would take Madrid, honestly.
I mean,
I don't know.
PSG could end up getting Dortmund, Spurs, or even, Atletico Madrid, but
I mean, it depends. Like, a lot can change until February.
That's the thing. There is a decent gap now until the next round of the Champions League. New players in January.
Or even
Things
just teams
happen.
changing form. Some might start playing better in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Some might start playing worse. So we'll see.
Let's go to Lucas's favorite group.
Which one?
Group C.
Which one's that?
it's with Atalanta.
Atalanta.
Probably your favorite team.
Atalanta gets a big 3-0 victory on the road at Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yep.
It means they go through.
Yep.
The Champions League debutantes, they make it through to the next round.
They needed a victory and hope
They've
that
been doing
Zagreb...
well in Europe.
They've
I
been
mean, no, they
okay.
haven't.
They'd be not very good, I gotta be honest.
They-
Better than expected.
They lost their first 3 matches.
They're going through on a -4 goal differential.
I know nothing about Italian football. There you go.
Same.
you
But
go.
Manchester City, they do top the group. 4-1 victory on the road at Dinamo Zagreb.
There was a point where Zagreb were winning,
That's 10 minutes in. Danny Olmo, the man, the myth, the legend.
and that would have meant that Zagreb would have won through.
Yeah.
But unfortunately...
Gabriel Jesus exists. He scored a hat trick within 20 minutes.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zagreb aren't as good as Manchester City. And Atalanta, they got a goal from Castagne. They thought it was initially offside. VAR ruled it onside, which gave them the 1-0 lead.
It's good to see Zinchenko back from Man City. He came on as a substitute in this game. He could help them in their defensive issues.
That's sad.
I don't think he's going to help that much in the defense.
I think he just could add a bit more stability. He's like, hey, this is a constant to have. They have their wing back pairing.
Just don't
figured
start.
out.
Don't start Angelino.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah.
Taylor Hardward-Bellis made his debut for the club, 17-year-old.
Okay, we're talking about Atalanta.
I'm talking about Manchester City.
We're on different pages here.
Atalanta won 3-0. What do you want to talk about?
Well, there was a red card that I thought was controversial.
Dodo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess he hit his hand on someone's face, and then they gave him initially a yellow. Then they talked to the assistant referee, gave a red, even though it looked kind of soft. But hey,
The game is turning soft, Lucas.
It is very much so.
I mean, I thought red was kind of harsh, but maybe there's another angle that I didn't see that makes it worse. So
This wasn't a great group. I gotta be honest. Man City go on through 14 points. Atalanta 7 points.
Atalanta is very good offensively, but when it comes to the defensive side of the game,
they're not good offensively though. Dinamo Zagreb scored more goals than them.
Well, in the Serie A they are more.
Yeah, it just seems they always have high scoring headlines or games. So.
I mean, if anything, I look at Dinamo Zagreb. So if you guys could defend better. They had the best goal differential out of any team except Man City in this group. At -3, by the way.
I mean, that's not that impressive.
It's not that impressive. But Atalanta goes through on -4. Like,
it's literally just getting smashed by City by less goals.
yes.
As a matter of fact, Atalanta goes through, so they're pretty happy. They don't really care.
100%.
First time ever in their history.
Yeah, well done to them.
Yeah, congrats.
At least that's an Italian team going through.
Let's talk about another Italian team going through.
Juventus?
Juve.
I mean, this victory over Bayer Leverkusen.
They usually do what they do, and that's win games.
2-0 on the road at Bayer Leverkusen. Cristiano Ronaldo and Gonzalo Higuain.
Now, this match really didn't matter that much for Juventus.
No.
Leverkusen, they needed to get a good result and hope that Atletico Madrid wouldn't get a good result. But Atletico Madrid came to hosted Lokomotiv Moscow.
So my thing is, you need a. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, you need a result here. You don't start Leon Bailey.
Why not?
I don't know.
He's a good player.
He scored 2 against Bayern.
Huh?
He scored 2 goals against Bayern.
Yeah,
Munich.
he's still a very effective player.
Why did they not start him?
Oh, I thought you said they did.
I would have started Leon Bailey. They started Diaby instead.
Diaby is pretty good.
I cannot make a comment on this as I am not the manager of the team.
Okay.
I do not know the inner dealings of Bayer Leverkusen, therefore I cannot comment.
Fair enough.
I mean, maybe there was some fitness issues or something.
This guy's a prick.
Me?
Yes, you.
I just want to talk about Atletico Madrid because I actually watched this match.
Let's talk about Atletico Madrid. Let's do it.
Yes, I thought they played very well.
Who you would like to comment as the most boring side in Europe?
I'm listening to Lucas. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Excuse me?
I'm listening, Lucas.
Okay, go.
Talk to me about Atletico Madrid.
I thought they completely dominated this match. They had the ball in Lokomotiv Moscow's half pretty much for the entire first half. They won a penalty early on. Trippier took a shot, took it, missed, got stopped by the goalkeeper. But they won another penalty, which I thought was kind of controversial because hit the guy's shoulder. In the Premier League, they don't really give that, but I guess they give it in the Champions League.
So they had 2 penalties in this game.
Yes, and João Felix scored the second one. I thought the players they were creating a lot of chances. Well, in the first 20 minutes, it could have been better, but they were. I don't know. I thought they were playing well.
Let's be honest, Lucas. It's not hard to play well against Lokomotiv Moscow.
Let's be honest, Lucas. It's a 2-0 victory.
I'm not saying they're a bad side, but when you look at Atletico Madrid's lineup, it's clear.
Let's be honest. A 2-0 victory at home against Lokomotiv Moscow is not good enough.
What do you want, a 5-0 performance?
Yes.
Did Juventus even beat them 5-0?
No.
I don't care about Juventus. They're both boring sides.
Atletico Madrid just can't finish their chances.
Neither Atletico or Juve will win this Champions League.
Well, that's your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
Well, it's not my fault.
I'll put $20.
It's not my fault. Morata was born offside.
Pretty much, honestly.
I swear. He probably has a record for most goals disallowed because of VAR.
I honestly think you're probably right.
Him or Lukaku. Or Aubameyang. Aubameyang is caught offside a lot.
No, Morata's offside at least once a game, at least. But the thing is, at least he's finishing these chances finally.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's offside.
Yeah,
because he did score one, but it was ruled because of
poor
VAR.
lad.
But I think I'm very intrigued about Atletico Madrid. I think they've been playing better over the past few weeks. They just haven't been finishing their chances as well as they should.
They're one of the more tactically gifted sides in Europe, that's for sure. Tactically, Juventus and Atletico Madrid are amazing.
What does that even mean?
Tactically, they're smart.
What do you mean by tactically? What do you mean by that? They can pass the ball nicely? Congratulations.
I have no comment.
Do they have good shape or?
I have no
Defensively, they all just drop back behind the ball. And okay, you can't score against us. I don't like either team.
I thought Madrid had 68% possession.
That's cute. It's against Lokomotiv Moscow, Lucas.
Okay.
What was their game against Juventus? What was their possession then? They probably had 125% possession, but they didn't do anything. They don't do anything.
40 because Juve had 60.
Don't do anything.
That's how math works, man.
Thank you. I didn't know that. I just don't like either team. I gotta be
Okay,
honest.
is that all the
You don't like
groups?
your slow build-up teams. You don't like the
Heavy
stagnancy.
metal football.
Clearly, yes.
Yes, but yes, the
But
group
only one
ends,
team is very good at that, and that's Liverpool.
Not
Salzburg's not too bad at it.
Liverpool don't play as much heavy
Not
metal
anymore,
anymore.
not
No, but Liverpool
They've
are now
calmed
the
down.
best team in Europe because they've learned that's not always the way.
I just saw a tweet yesterday. I wanted to bring it up. Is Liverpool the best team in the world in any sport right now? Because they've gone on such a long winning streak. Like we're talking NFL, we're talking NHL, we're talking NBA, we're talking this, we're talking that.
Well, there's many other sports.
I agree. I 100%
There's
agree.
more sports in America, Liam.
I'm just naming a few of them. Lucas,
You're not even
rugby,
gonna name,
this,
you're not
that.
even going to name cricket.
What's wrong with
Disgrace.
cricket?
Yeah.
The test match is going on right now, actually.
What about darts?
I love darts. Phil the Power Taylor. Yeah, but you didn't know that one, Lucas. Yeah, I actually watch darts.
We're not even going to mention esports?
That's a whole other question. That's a whole other topic. But I'm just going to bring it up. Are they the best team in sports right now? They've gone on such a win streak. They're winning everything.
I mean, they've lost matches. Like they've lost in the Champions
Napoli.
League group stages.
But they're good, Lucas.
And yes, they
They're pretty good. I gotta give it
despite
to them.
sometimes not playing the best, they find a way to win, and you got to give credit to that.
Before we move too far along, I should probably give the results for Group D. We didn't ever mention that. Juve end on 16, Atletico on 10,
And
Bayer
Leverkusen-
Leverkusen 6, Moscow on 3. Is that all the groups?
Yep.
That has been.
And that's the
Champions
Champions League. I am very excited for the round of 16. You know what? Whenever I watch the Champions League, it makes me miss it a lot. As a United supporter, I miss the Champions League.
Well,
It's like,
talking about United quickly, you guys play tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time against AZ.
good.
You're through already, though, correct?
I know. Yes, that's why
AC
we,
will win.
Probably, honestly.
guys-
At Old Trafford. We're on the road in Romania against Cluj.
right. Celtic. Would you like to make some comments about that?
What about them? How we're fantastic?
How far do you see them going in Europe?
Well, I don't know.
They're a funny side.
We are a very odd time. We can play fantastically or we can play crap. I think we'll lose tomorrow, honestly.
You have done very well in Europe for the first time in ages.
Yeah,
I think the Europa League is a competition suited for your style.
100%.
I think there was a comment on our last episode saying how you guys have not done well on the continental stage. What's the furthest you've gone in the?
Well, you said that.
Yeah, you said that the Celtic haven't done good
Yeah.
in continental Europe competitions, and the comment said they're top of their group right now. They're through.
Yes, right now they're doing very
in a
well.
much tougher group than United. I completely agree. The Celtics group is one of the toughest in the Europa League. Lazio are third in Serie A. Rennes beat PSG this season.
Yes.
They did. Their first match of the season, they beat PSG. I mean, it was a while ago. And Cluj knocked us out of the Champions League. So, yes, it's a tough group. We've done extremely well. I never saw this coming, I gotta be honest.
Scottish teams in general have been doing
Rangers
very,
have been doing very good.
I mean,
they're-
Alfredo Morelos is top scorer in the Europa League.
fuck, I love Alfredo Morelos. What an absolute fucking ball bag. Jesus.
What's that supposed to mean?
A ball bag? Testicles. He's a dick.
He is one?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't like him?
Why the fuck would I like him? Here's
The way you started that sentence out made you seem like you liked him.
Let me explain to you, Rangers fans, for a second. Steven Gerrard said he's worth at least 50 million. Juventus will come calling for Alfredo Morelos. The game against Celtic just last week, he had a penalty. He had multiple chances through on goal. He had a breakaway. Do you think he scored?
No.
No. He's never scored against Celtic because he cannot hit the net in big games. He's a prick, and it's great to see.
Oh, jeez.
Every game he gets yellow carded because he fights Scott Brown. He took out our center back defender 2 minutes after the ball was cleared out. He just studs up back of the leg. It's great to see. If Scottish football had VAR, there'd probably be 3 or 4 red cards in that game.
But do you expect Rangers to go through in their group? They're 1 point ahead of Porto and Young Boys. And they play against...
They play against young boys.
And they're at home. Do you see it happening?
Honestly, for the good of Scottish football, sure, I'll say they go through. No, because it's good to see teams go through. We get more money that way. There's more money in the league.
Improves the coefficient.
It improves coefficient. It's good to see if Scottish football's doing well. I hope they get knocked out because I would like to see Young Boys Porto go through, but that's just
With
me.
that being said, United will win Europa League.
Oh,
Just my opinion.
okay, but you guys, going into... Because you're both going through the round of 32.
Yes.
Which team are you most scared of to potentially face? Whether it's in the next round or later down in the competition.
I mean, I'm looking at teams that dropped down from Champions League, I don't want to play Salzburg. I think they tear us apart. Inter, they're not bad.
The three teams, I would say, Ajax, Inter, and Napoli.
Napoli's not
Napoli
in.
didn't drop down.
Oh, right.
Salzburg.
Would you be scared of Salzburg?
I'm more afraid of Salzburg than I am of Ajax.
I think for United, Salzburg would play into United's hands because United could counterattack very
Potentially.
That's right.
But I think Salzburg could score against them.
well. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And if Haland stays,
Haland scores against United.
I don't know about that right now.
Okay, so here's a question. We can't face each other in the next round because we're both topping our group.
Okay.
Actually, no, you technically aren't topping your group. You could get second spot if you lose to AZ.
It won't happen.
So let's say you go through top spot and we go through top spot and we meet down the road. Do you think we could beat you?
No. No.
I'd like to see that one. I think Celtic could do
After
something.
after United's last two performances, I'm very
You've
confident.
done very well the last few weeks. 100%. You've turned your season around, it seems.
would you guys not be afraid of a team like Wolves?
I'd be more afraid of
I would like to see
Borussia.
this.
I'd be more afraid of Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a good
What,
side.
what about Roma? Chris Smalling, even though apparently he's injured.
Smaldini.
One of the best defenders in Europe right now.
Let's talk about Juventus wanting him. And I was like, are you nuts? Like, one good season does not make a player. Trust
he
me.
plays well with Italian football.
Fair enough.
Would you be potentially scared of Arsenal?
No. Sevilla, yes. Sevilla's a good side. Arsenal, like I said, Kieran Tierney's out for 3 months. You hate to see it.
What about Bayer Leverkusen?
Leverkusen's a good side as well.
Are they in it?
Yeah, they got
They
third.
got third in their group.
Oh right. I'm sorry, brain fart.
Guess.
I was just looking at the Europa League teams. Like they weren't in that.
Arsenal are not a bad side. I mean, that front three is deadly. They can score.
I mean, Nicolas
Defensively-
Pepe's been weird this year.
Defensively, though, I think they are still shocking. I think we could nick a goal against them on the counterattack.
Well, the Europa League is looking like it's going to be a fantastic competition in the
I'll
knockout
be
stages.
honest. It's currently looking more competitive than the last time we were in it, so it is getting me concerned.
This entire conversation started with your question to me. How far do I think Celtic can go? It depends on the draw, really. It really does, honestly. I mean, if we get an okay draw this next round and we are able to advance there, hell, you never know with this team. Get on good momentum, if they can do well at home, no big injuries, get like a good signing in January, you never know. Or we could get pumped out this next round. It's quite possible.
I think that breaks down everything
Yeah,
about
pretty
the
much.
European football this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching this
It
podcast.
was a nice, quicker episode.
Well, it's still pretty long, but
Regardless,
slow.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like Luke said, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hope you enjoyed the episode, whether you are watching or listening. Make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. Hit that bell notification so you are aware whenever we post. If you're on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, follow along. Get involved with the conversation as well. Give us your thoughts on the Champions League groups, the draws, the teams in the Europa League. Comment down below. Give us your thoughts. We want to hear from you guys. But yes, from myself, Liam, from Waz, Lucas, and Greg, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. And this has been yet another week in the beautiful game. See you next time.
Happy holidays. 3 of the top 5 players for the Ballon d'Or.
I mean, one of them wasn't playing in this match.
Never mind then.
Mane didn't play, so.
Yeah, he did not. That pissed me off because I won my fantasy team. I dropped points in fantasy because of it.
We had to play Shaqiri and Curtis Jones.
You guys suck.
Did they suck? Because they won 3-0.
No, because my fantasy team dipped points. I went down in the world rankings in fantasy Premier League. That pissed me off because I was in good form.